Good morning. Is it still morning? I don't know. It is. It's been a minute. I don't know exactly how long it's been since I filmed last. It has been a busy few weeks. My name is Leigh. Welcome back to the corner. This is where we talk about whatever crafty things I've been up to since I spoke to you last. I am a crafter in Pittsburgh, PA, and my crafts are primarily knitting with some sewing, crochet, and cross stitch sprinkled in. Like I said, it's been a minute since I filmed because I had the Steel Valley Yarn Crawl. I was working every single day through the Steel Valley Yarn Crawl here in Pittsburgh. And then immediately after that was over, my mother and brother came to visit for a week. And that took up that alone. Those two things were 3 weeks of my time. I had no free time to film or do anything. So I'm just now catching up. I had a video edited and uploaded fairly recently that had been sitting. Like I had the footage for so long before I finally edited it and uploaded it. So hopefully I can get back into the swing of things here. I have a lot of stuff to talk to you about today because I have been going through it. I've been going through one of those phases where I just want to cast on all the things, but I don't really want to finish anything. So I don't have a whole lot of finished stuff to show you, but I have a lot of new cast-ons. One of which is actually finished already since I spoke to you last. I started it and finished it. It is not blocked though. And I have a couple of acquisitions, not a ton of acquisitions, but a couple because, you know, time has passed. Let's see, where do we want to start? I think we'll start with, I don't think we're going to start with FOs today. Also, I really apologize if you can hear a strange beeping periodically through this, or chirping through this episode. But there is a mechanical chirping noise coming from my neighbor's house, and it has been for weeks since they moved out. There's been no one in there, and it is super annoying. I hate it. All right. We're not starting with FOs today because one of my FOs is also a new cast-on, and so I will show that when I get to my new cast-ons. Except I do have one FO that I will talk to you about. I guess forget everything I just said. I'm going to show you one FO because I finally finished Brad's octopus socks, both of them. There we go. 2 octopus socks. They're not washed yet. I am going to put them in the wash immediately after this video because I wanted to show them to you, not soggy. So I was doing some washing over there. I have, maybe I'll tell you a little bit in the update section at the end of the episode what's been going on here, but it's been requiring a lot of washing. So I have these finished. These are knit out of LaRue cotton, the vegan sock base, her old one. She has a new one now. I don't know what the fiber content of that one is. This one is some bamboo cotton elastic blend. I don't know the percentages, but the color is octopus. And it's really beautiful, really fun. I did a 68 stitch sock. I did a broken 3x1 rib for the texture, and just a 2x2 cuff, and a fish lips kiss heel, as usual. And they're finally done. I went back and looked on my Ravelry, and I started these in January, and it took me until August to finish them. Hello, sir. You coming to join? That's too long for a pair of socks, but they're done now. Hallelujah. That's the only FO I have to show you besides the one that I will talk to you about in new cast-on section. Can you not lick while I'm doing filming? The boy has joined us, so you may hear some dog noises in the background. He's very cute. All right, let's start with whips you have seen before. I haven't worked on all of the whips that you have seen before because I cast on so many new things, but I have worked on a few. In my little Halloween project bag that I made for myself, it's got sparkly spider webs on it. I have my, did I show you these? I honestly cannot remember if I've shown you these. Oh, great. I don't even have the whole project here. It's fine. I have my blue supermoon socks in here, and now that I'm saying that out loud, I don't know if I've shown you these, but these are a pair of socks that I've been working on for a minute. I guess I probably wouldn't have shown these to you because this is a yarn crawl colorway. Oops. All right, well, first new cast on, I guess, is a yarn that was our crawl colorway at my local yarn shop, Yarns by Design, the one that I work at. Rita of Ex Libris Fibers dyed up a special colorway for us, and I started a pair of socks with it. It is called Blue Supermoon, and this is what it looks like knit up. It is so beautiful. It's got little flecks of purple in there too. And I have gotten just past the heel of this one. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel for these as well. These I am knitting just a vanilla sock, 64 stitch count. I did a 25 row cuff, and then I'm using size 0 needles to give me a little, this is a pretty light fingering weight, and I like the fabric it makes with a size 0 needle. So that's what I'm doing with those. I've actually finished the first sock. This is the second sock, but I left the first sock downstairs, so I can't show it to you. But yeah, I have that going on. My progress keeper on here is a little progress keeper that I made. My high school best friend gave me a pair of earrings when we were in high school from when she went on a vacation, and I lost one, but the other one I took the stone out of it and I made a progress keeper. So that's a fun little tidbit. Well, it's my first whip. That is also a new cast on, I guess, since you've seen me, or since I've seen you. What are you doing? Second whip is also in a bag that I made. This is my quilted project bag that I made like first. I think this was like the first one I made. And in here we have my slanty stripes. Hello. Hello. You come to say hi? And I actually did a fair bit of work on my slanty stripes here since you saw it last. I don't know exactly how well you'll be able to see, but I am almost done with the back here. I finished the, what did I finish? Oh, I have started the armhole shaping up the back, and I am almost to where I need to start doing the shoulder stuff. But I think it's looking so good. Look how fun. There's a big stretch of orange here. It's beautiful. I love it so much. I am knitting this out of, oh, it's a pattern by Emily Curtis. There you go. Emily Curtis. It's a tank top type top. But I am using the Brooklyn Tweed Peary in the color Hickory for the main color, and then all of my little contrast colors are a mini skein set from Little Lionhead Knits called the 70s, and it's just so good. It's got these fun intarsia slants. It's great. It's a lot of fun to work on still. I'm enjoying every minute of it, and that's my other whip, or my second whip. Oh my god, I have like 8. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Literally almost 8. Oh, I'm knitting this, my slanty stripes. I'm knitting the size 4, I think, or 5. I don't have the pattern on me. I left it downstairs to tell you exactly which size I'm knitting, but it's like the 48-inch bust, I think, to give me like 4 inches of positive ease. Yeah, so that's the size I'm knitting. Next whip is in my Woodsy and Wild dragon bag. Woodsy and Wild. Look at these cutie dragons. And in here we have my Moon Crush pullover. I did not forget about it. I did forget about it for a while, but now we're back. This is the one that I mentioned before. I am a little bit worried that it is not going to be big enough, but I'm just trucking along, and we're gonna wing it. We're gonna play it by ear. So I have, it is a pattern by Jacqueline C. Slack, and it's this really pretty intarsia sweater. And I am knitting mine out of Pearl Soho's linen quill in these 3 colors. Kiln Red is this one. This one is Rose Quartz, something like that. And then this one is, I don't remember. This is the one that I can't remember the name of. It's like something to do with oranges or yellow, like some sort of fruit or plant or something. I don't remember. This is the color that is discontinued though, so it's not available anyway. These are the 3 colors I'm using. This is my main color, so I'll be using the most of this, but I only have 1 skein of each of these left, and I am really concerned that I'm going to run out of this color, the discontinued one. So we'll see. I'm just winging it. I'm trying not to overthink this. I'm also knitting this in the size 4, which is the 48-inch bust, but I think my gauge might be slightly off because my measurements aren't coming out quite right. I have finished and blocked the front of the sweater. It's a little bit wrinkly because it's been in the bottom of my bag, but I have finished and blocked it so that I could measure it. It's a little bit, it's tight where it's at now. I am currently on a bit of a weight loss journey again though, because I had gained some weight back working from home. It is affecting my hormones again. So for the sake of my hormone health, which I don't know if you remember, but I have a history of having issues with my hormone that directly correlates with whatever weight I am in the moment. Since it's affecting me, I am trying to get back down to where my hormones regulate again. So maybe if I can get that done by the time the sweater is ready, it'll actually be fine. But I am going to finish knitting all the pieces, and then I am going to see where I'm at. If I need to knit an extra panel to insert into the sides to give me some extra width, I will do that. So that is how that is looking. I am on the back now, and I have made it into the chart for the back. So I have all 3 yarns connected. This is great. But the back is looking like this, and I have started with the yellow here. So that's how the back's looking. I love this fabric that linen quill makes. It is so like floppy. It's very soft, very lovely. I have heard people complain that it's a bit prickly, this yarn, and I have never had that experience. It is so soft and pleasant to me. So I'm really enjoying this. I really enjoy it every time I sit and work on it. I just keep getting distracted by other things. But that's that. I haven't done a whole lot on that since you've seen it last, but I've done like 4 inches maybe of the back, which I think is pretty good. Next whip. This one is in a little project bag that I made using some fat quarters that I got from a friend. Very cute. And I have another pair of socks in here from my brother, for my brother. When he and my mom were here visiting, we went to a yarn store so that he could pick out some yarn himself for socks, like his Christmas socks. And he picked out 2 main colors and then a contrast color to go with both of them. And I just went ahead, I was very interested in this yarn that we got, so I wanted to go ahead and cast them on, and so I am. They are not gonna be, they do not need to be finished until Christmas time, so I'm not in a hurry with them, but I was intrigued by this yarn that we found. We found this at McWalker Yarns here in Pittsburgh. It is one of my favorite yarn stores that we have that isn't my local yarn store to get sock yarn at. They have a great selection of sock yarn. And they had this on sale. It is called Hand Paint Wildfoot Luxury Sock Yarn. and it is an American made sock yarn. It is spun and dyed by Brown Sheep Company in Nebraska. And each skein of this is 50 grams, 215 yards per skein, and it is a 75% washable wool, 25% nylon. It definitely feels like a wool blend, not a merino, which I prefer for a sock yarn, quite frankly. And this is the first color that he picked. It is called Handsome Hiker. It's really cute, this like barber pole style. And then the contrast color he picked will go with both that one and the other skein of yarn that he picked out that I do not think is in here. I think I forgot it downstairs. But this one is called Stony Creek, and it is just a tonal brown. But it's very nice. And I have been working on his sock. I have made it through the heel of the first sock. And I'm doing the cuff, heel, and toe in the brown, and I am doing the rest of the sock in the Handsome Hiker colorway, and this is what it's looking like. There's a dog hair right up front. So that's what the brown is looking like. You can also see it in the heel. And this is what that Handsome Hiker colorway looks like. You can see there's some pretty subtle color shifts here within the like there's obviously this green that goes through it, but you can see these like little subtle color bits that are really fun. I'm really enjoying working on this. I am doing a 3x1 broken rib for his sock, and I am doing these in a 64 stitch count because I, in the past, have knit my brother's socks the same size as I've knit Brad, but when he came to visit, he told me that his foot is actually smaller than Brad's. And if I can get away with just doing 64 stitches instead of 68, I will. So that is what I have done on that. Just the first sock. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry for this one. Right now, my blue Supermoon socks are the ones that have been traveling with me to and from work for like lunch breaks and stuff. But when those are done, I'll probably these will be my travel socks. Yeah, we have one more pair of socks to talk about. These are also a new cast on, and I cast these on a whim and am having feelings about them. I'm not sure yet how this is gonna go. All right, let me tell you a bit more about this sock. I am knitting a patterned sock. This is the Popsicle Paradise socks by Dana Ray Makes. I can't remember her like human name, but that's her Instagram name. Dana Ray Makes Popsicle Paradise socks. They are a fisherman's rib sock. And as you can imagine, a fisherman's rib is a very like loose, stretchy fabric and can be difficult to size correctly. And I think I may need to make an adjustment. But I am knitting this out of a 50-gram set. It's two 50-gram skeins of sock yarn from Mace of Skeins. It is called Nanny's Fave. And I got this at the Moon and Yarn craft room when I went for Brienne's grand opening. And it is so cute, and I've been wanting to cast it on. And I thought this would be the perfect project. And I think it is. These are looking incredible. I just think maybe I need to knit the size smaller. So without giving too much away, this is how they're looking. Oh, let me show you the colors. This is the sock set. So beautiful, right? I decided to use the speckle as the main color because YOLO, right? But without giving out too much information for the pattern itself, you cast on and knit the cuff, and you have to change the stitch count for the rest of the sock because of the nature of the fisherman's rib, because it is so loose and squishy. but I think I need to adjust the stitch count more from here to here. Like I think I need to decrease it even more because this is looking like the more I knit down, the wider it's looking. It's looking pretty big. But also I think I'm just going to keep knitting a little while longer and try it on because the nature of this fabric is also that you don't want it to have so much negative ease that it stretches over your leg because it affects the look of the fabric. Because the fabric is supposed to look like this, but if you have enough negative ease, it's going to stretch out and look not cute, you know? So it really needs to be like 0 ease for these. So I think it might just be looking different from how my socks normally look, and that's throwing me off. So I'm gonna give it a little while longer. I'm gonna knit a little farther down, but my hesitancy has been making me less motivated to work on these. So we'll see. I'm keeping them nearby and working on them a little bit at a time. Also, I have not divorced my husband. I took a shower and forgot to put my ring back on. We're still happily married. Next project. Oh, I'm knitting the size medium of these as well, where you start out with, you know, the normal 64 stitch count. Next cast on is in one of my Paisley and Gold sewing bags. Long time no see from a Paisley and Gold Hamilton bag. But I have started and finished a project in here. I knit the Alpine Bloom hat by Caitlin Hunter. Her new hat design. I was just really taken by this design. I thought it was really pretty. And I have had in my closet a project bag with this yarn combo in it for like 2 years. I bought this yarn thinking I wanted to make socks, and I started a pair of socks twice with it and it just wasn't working out. I made a mistake. I'm gonna have to duplicate stitch over that. I won't show you. But this is also not blocked, and it's a colorwork hat, so it's gonna look lumpy and weird because I have not blocked it. But I finished it. The 2 yarns I had in stash had this skein of Spin Cycle dyed in the wool in the color End of Summer, which is beautiful. It is a beautiful colorway. And then I also had this onion knit nettle sock yarn in the color 101. Well, you gotta, there we go. So I've started projects with this yarn before. It was kind of a mess. I'm so glad I finally got my act together. This is the onion sock yarn. This is the Spin Cycle. The Spin Cycle looks a bit of a mess because I did have to like cut and piece some together to make sure that the color moved in the way I wanted it to. And this is what my hat looks like. It could really use a good block. I think I'm gonna block it and show it to you again next episode because, oh, it does look really good though. I started this hat 4 times. 4 times. Also, I will show you my mistake. You see in the top here, these like ridges between the flowers on this side, I accidentally, we have a green stitch. I'm just gonna duplicate stitch over that. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, I started this hat 4 times. First, I did do a modification. I knit the size medium, the size 2 adult. Nope, I knit the size 3 adult large extra large because I didn't want it to be tight on my head. And when I cast it on the first time, I used the green as the main color. Can you imagine? It was not giving what I wanted it to give. So I had the green as the main color and I modified the brim to be a double brim, like I wanted it folded over. but I wanted it folded over in a very specific way, so I like did the flip under and attach kind of thing. So I did that modification, but I knit the entire brim, attached it, and got about this far into the color work using the spin cycle as the contrast color before I decided that I didn't want the green to be the main color. I was like, this is not right. This isn't what I wanted. So I cut the brim off was what I did, because I didn't want to start over again or rip it out and reuse the yarn. And I had plenty of green to use it as a contrast color without what I'd used. So I just cut the brim off and I cast on using the spin cycle as the main color. Then I realized that if I were to knit the spin cycle from where I had started, like in the ball, that by the time I got to my color work, it was going to become the same color as my contrast color. And I wanted the contrast to stay high. Like it was gonna be close, like more like this kind of thing in the middle. And the contrast would have been too low. So I ripped it out again and I started the spin cycle in a different section of the skein. I got most of the way through the brim, and then I realized that I actually did end up having enough yarn, but because I was knitting the large size, I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough spin cycle, and I didn't want to waste spin cycle on the inside of the brim where no one was ever going to see it. So I then decided to stop again, take the old green brim and pick it up halfway through and start the spin cycle on the outside of the hat only. So this is the green contrast color on the inside of the brim, and the spin cycle starts right here at the bottom so that I wouldn't have any spin cycle on the inside of the hat. And that's when the real hat started. So, oh my God, so many different starts to this hat. It has a really beautiful top, you know, minus my little mistake stitch there. And it fits really well. It fits exactly like I wanted it to. I love the squishy double brim. I can't wait to wash it and see what it looks like blocked, because it is in dire need of that. But yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out. So glad that I actually made the effort to restart all those times, because it definitely needed it. I only have one more project to talk to you about. Final project to show you today is a new cast on that I have talked to you about before. Like, I've mentioned this before on the podcast as plans. So I have, it's getting too big for the bag, but in my egg bag, is a sweater. This is my Lodge by Ozetta, which is the second Lodge I will have knit. And I'm knitting this one out of, oh, it's not attached to anything right now, great. Barocco Ultra Wool in 4 colors. I am making this one striped. This is the main color. It is called orange. And my contrast colors are raspberry, nasturtium, like the flower, and lemon, which is not lemon colored at all. I really question their naming choices. But these are my 4 colors. Orange here on the end is my main color. And I am knitting a big, squishy, oversized version of the Lodge so that I can have a leggings sweater out of a workhorse yarn, and I am loving it so far. This is a worsted weight yarn, a worsted weight sweater, and it is flying by, but it is a big, cozy, split seam, like split side, folded cuff, mock neck sweater. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do a mock neck or not with mine. I might. I did on my last one and I really love it. But this is how that sweater normally looks. And here is how I am knitting mine with stripes. It looks so good on camera. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. I wanted less of this contrast color than the others. So I kind of did pink, red, pink, green, pink, red, pink, green. Oh my gosh, look at it. I did the big split on the side. I started off with a little pop of color on the cuff or on the hem ribbing. I have finished the back completely. It is now on waist yarn. So it's like big, she long. And I'm on the front now. I am working my way up the front. I just did my green, first green, or my last green contrast. And I just have, I think I'm almost halfway up the front before I need to start shaping for the collar, because obviously the front comes down lower than the back did. So I'm trucking along on this. I think if I really, like, if this is the thing I work on today, I think I can finish the front today and get that put together, and then I only have sleeves left. Well, I gotta put the collar on. Collar and sleeves is all that's left. So that's how that's going. I really feel like this is going to wear super well and is gonna be super comfy. It's gonna be really warm. Ultra wool is a 100% wool. So it is going at worsted weight, and it is going to be very warm. But it is also a superwash. I know, don't come at me. I wanted a workhorse budget yarn and these colors. Honestly, I just couldn't say no to these colors. But once it washes, it's gonna like relax quite a bit. And I think it's just gonna be super comfy. A staple for my winter wardrobe this year. Fall/winter? We'll see. I'm very excited about it. I love how it's turning out. Exactly as I envisioned it. I wanted skinny little stripes with big chunks of the orange as the main color. It's so good, so good. I wear my other one a lot, and it is knit out of a bougie yarn. It is knit out of Coast to Coast Yarn Co. non-superwash worsted, and I wear it all the time. So I definitely think this one is gonna get a ton of use out of me. And that's it for whips. I have just a couple of acquisitions to show you, not a whole lot. Give me just a second, I forgot a couple over here. I did pick up a couple, I do have a couple of acquisitions because it was the yarn crawl, and it's hard to resist getting things during the yarn crawl. You already saw that I had the one Blue Supermoon yarn that I got, and I also got that yarn for my brother's socks. But I also got some goodies from my friend Rochelle of Sassafras Knits. As you know, I'm a huge fan of her work, and she was here visiting. She did a pop-up at my local yarn shop, and it was great. We loved having her. I bought a few things from her, and she gifted me one thing because we're friends, and she's wonderful and generous and a lovely human being. But she had such beautiful goodies this time. This is a set of stitch markers that were in this project bag because look how perfect they are to go with my sweater. Perfect. So these are the stitch markers I've been using with this. They're so cute. They're like just little enamel hearts. Then I purchased those. I also purchased these. I purchased this strawberry milk. With these little pink stones, progress keeper, and then this progress keeper, which has sparkly things and a tiny bee, but this one was just so sparkly and delicate that I couldn't say no to it. So pretty. And then Rochelle also gifted me this because she's incredible, but she gave me this Notions pouch. Does that look like me or does that look like me? It's so cute, and it's got this really fun little like micro stripe linen lining. It's so good, so good. And that's not the only bag I got either. I also bought a bag from Jody, who is our local shepherdess here. She is the dyer behind Flower Hill Fleeces, and she was also hosting a pop-up at the yarn shop, and she had made these really cute Notions pouches. I don't think they're available online, but this is the one I fell in love with. She wove this fabric, this woven fabric here, she wove it. And then it's got this beautiful wool felt as the rest of the bag. Jody wove this. It's so beautiful. And it's got this gorgeous, like, deep burgundy lining. Oh, tasty. Delicious. I'm so excited about this. Who needs this many little bags? I don't know, but I guess me. All right. I did have a couple of yarn acquisitions too. One came from my K-Drama Yarn Club. I got the one for July in, and it is Hometown Cha Cha Cha, which is a K-drama that I really enjoyed. I loved it. Did I show this already? I think I couldn't have. But this is Hometown Cha 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 from Bumblebee Acres Farm, their K-Drama Yarn Club. So many fun colors in this one. This one is so vibrant. This looks like the ocean. The only other yarn acquisition I have to show you is very exciting. During the yarn crawl, Rita of Ex Libris Fibers did a pop-up at our yarn shop, and she had a bunch of her new colorways and also some of the ones that she dyed up for Pride, which I saw them online, and with Rita's yarn, it's always, her yarn is beautiful online, and then it's even more breathtaking in person, if that's possible. The subtlety of her dyes is just mind-boggling. But this color I loved on her Instagram. I was like, that is beautiful. And then seeing it in person, I was like, I have a great need. Like, I need that. So I got a skein of Henry and June. It's really showing on camera how these ends are two different colors. It's so beautiful. It's not just red, but it's got this neon orange at one end. And I'm going to design a pair of socks using this. So I am in brainstorm mode. With these, it probably won't be released until next spring. But I'm hoping that I don't let anyone down. This is gonna be so good. New sock design. I want to design another pair of socks before then too, but at the very least, that will be a pair of new socks. The only other acquisition I have to show you is from work. I am planning to make myself a jacket. I'm going to sew myself a new jacket because this amazing fabric piece of fabric came in, and I was like, yeah, I need that as a coat. This is a big woven tapestry type fabric that came into work, and can you imagine this as a coat? It's very blanket-like, and I love the look of those like coats made from old blankets. I think it's such a look. But look at it. It's got cabins. It's got chickens. It's got ducks. It's got cows. It's got spotty dogs and black dogs. I love it so much. This is going to be so incredible. The best coat, I think it's like 3 yards of fabric, I think. And then I also have picked out a lining that I forgot to buy yesterday, but I picked out a lining for this that is, do I have anything that's kind of the color? It's a really bright, like blood orange color. And that's gonna be the lining for this. I'm excited. The pattern I've picked out for it is the Berlin jacket. Who is the designer? Who designed it? Berlin jacket. I'll show you a picture. Tessuti Fabrics, which is an Australian design house, I think. I think so. But this is what it looks like. It's just an open front, no closures, boxy fit jacket, which is exactly what I wanted. It has a very graphic collar situation, but very clean, simple lines. It shouldn't be too difficult to make. I'm very excited about it. It says specifically not to use woven fabrics that fray when cut, but I'm going to figure it out and make it work anyway. It says recommended fabrics are boiled wool and boiled felted wool, but since I am doing I'm going to modify it. Since I am doing an exterior fabric and a lining fabric, I should be able to use this as long as I take the proper precautions. So I'm going to do my best. I'll make it work. All right, that's it for crafty things. That's all I got going on. I'm gonna go eat lunch and then I'm gonna go to work because it is a work day. And I thank you so much for your patience with my weird filming schedule lately. I am glad to be back talking to you and sharing my feelings with you, and I will see you next time.